You wanna go? You wanna go see the chickies? Hey guys, I have been getting some questions about our livestock guardian dog, Walter, and I thought I'd just take a minute today and kind of answer those questions. Walter is an important part of our farm here, and he is someone that I will talk about more kind of throughout this journey. But we actually got Walter when around the time we got our baby chicks, and it was a very exciting time for us. And we got Walter for a couple of different reasons. One, we got him because I wanted a big dog around that could be with me when Eric, my husband, was traveling, because at that time he was still traveling a lot. And then we also wanted a protector for our chickens. At the time, we didn't know how we were going to expand or what our plan was, but we knew we wanted a Walter dog. Come on, you wanna go with me? Come on, let's go. So a couple of things about Walter here, which he's having the best time of his life because he's getting stable time here on the stable couch. Walter is not a St. Bernard. He is an Anatolian Great Pyrenees mix. And when we were researching what dogs to get here on our property, the breed characteristics of both of those seemed to fit. Obviously, we wanted a qualified livestock guardian, but we liked that the Anatolian Shepherd, which we didn't know anything about that breed, we liked that they were less likely to wander. What are you doing? What are you doing? Walter's primary job on our property is to protect the ducks and the chickens. So he is out where the ducks and chickens free range, and he has access to their runs and coops during the day. We will be adding another Pyrenees Anatolian likely later this spring because we are expanding our goats and they need their own protector. And just because for the amount of animals that we're now going to have, you know, we want to increase the guardian. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? So some other questions that I've gotten about Walter. He is neutered. We waited until he was over a year old to neuter him on the recommendation of our vet. And of course, there's so much to read out there, and you know, I think the best thing to do is just to talk to your vet and see what they recommend. But they recommended that we wait until at least then with Walter, because since he is a giant breed, that you know, we did not want to stunt his growth or mess with his testosterone at a young age, you know, that could ultimately impact, you know, not only his personality and his ability to do his job, but also could cause orthopedic issues later on. And that is something we knew we had to be very careful about with Walter because he is such a big boy. He is 140 pounds, and the vet says that he is the right weight and size for his body. And I'm not a vet, so I go with that. Well, we had a hound dog that... It's okay, we can go out. Come on, let's go. You want to go back down to your chickens? You'll take a little break, but better to be outside. Make sure all is well. This breed in particular, you know, they may choose not to eat on a given day. Walter is pretty regular about eating his food, but he is not, you know, it is not uncommon for the Pyrenees part of him to be a grazer and not necessarily... He's not food motivated, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So another question I get is, man, he must eat you out of house and home. It just kind of goes back to Walter not being food motivated. You know, yes, he will eat significantly more than a Chihuahua would eat. But Walter eats probably around 6 cups of food a day. And until Walter was at least 2 years old, we were feeding him large breed dog food. And again, that just goes back to us wanting to make sure that his joints and bones were protected and that he could grow healthy and strong to his full size and not have any issues later on in life. The kind of structure of Walter is very Anatolian. Even though he has that big Pyrenees kind of presence, he is very much Anatolian in the way that he is structured and looks and kind of carries himself. Another question I've gotten is, would a Pyrenees Anatolian Shepherd do well on less land? We have 40 acres here, and while Walter does have access to the majority of that acreage, he spends most of his time in kind of a 3-acre area. You know, his responsibility is to the chickens and the ducks and to us. And so he spends most of his time here unless he is chasing something off or, you know, investigating. He's still a puppy at heart. And of course, I've never had this breed of dog, you know, on a smaller parcel. So another question I get asked is, does he bark a lot? And the answer to that is, I guess, yes. But this entire time I've been outside, Walter hasn't barked once. And the reason for that is Walter does not bark for no reason. Walter is not a dog that just barks for the sake of barking. Walter is not a yippy dog. When he barks, he means it. Most of Walter's barking is at night. And, you know, Walter does have a job during the day, but it's a little more lax because it's a lot less likely that a predator is going to just mosey up onto the property, you know, during the day when Walt is kind of out and patrolling, we're kind of out and about. You know, at night, Walter is really on alert. And so he barks at night a lot. He has several different types of barks. One bark, you know, is very much like, I see you, you know, hey, what's up? Kind of get off the property. Here's a little warning. And that bark is more like, I think that might be something. Do my eyes deceive me? And then there is something definitely on the property. I'm not close enough to know if it should be here or not, but I'm coming. And that is a much deeper, much more panicked bark. And then there is the bark that I definitely don't think I'm going to be able to capture, but that is like, get out here now. Like, I see you. I know you're not allowed to be here, and I'm gonna get you. You know, Walter has never killed an animal before. Walter's responsibility is to alert to those animals, to scare them by barking, by his presence, and Walter does a very good job of that. So yes, he barks, but we want him to bark. What do you see? What do you see, Walt? Let's go. Let's go. Walter's number one priority, though, if I am outside, is the protection of me. I think it's important for people to know, you know, if you don't have a farm, you don't have a livestock guardian, if you're visiting somewhere that does, you know, a livestock guardian is really doing a job there. And if I'm outside and Walter is outside and someone approaches or a vehicle shows up, like, Walter is very quick to protect me. And I really have to release him, you know, of that responsibility for him to warm up to anyone visiting. So Walter's definitely not a dog, even though he is an absolute sweetheart, that you just approach and, you know, immediately start interacting with, because if you're interfering with his job, then it's not going to go well. This is just one video that I've done on Walter, and I plan to have more about him in the future. I will link to my original video on Walter that talks a little bit about, you know, why we got Walter, what that experience was, and just a little bit more about his personality and who he is. And if you want to see more of Walter, let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you have any questions. Walter is certainly a character, and there's actually, you know, a few animals on the property that I love talking about more than him. Come on, Walt, let's go, buddy. And if I don't capture his guarding or predator watch on this video, I will definitely make sure that I do it in the next one. I appreciate you watching, as always, and I'll see you next time.